There's no good like happy roar year.
Happy
Chicxulub.
Yeah. Like the Google search result.
Wasn't that fucked up?
That was so weird. Talk about triggering if you're a theropod.
Yeah.
It was like casually Google searching and a meteor flies across your screen.
Well, this is C. Jurassic Right, Fossil Finds Edition. That's Andrea Ciafalo, aka the strangest of birds and art. And I'm Steve Ray Morris. Welcome.
Hooray. New year.
Just as bad.
Yeah, a new year, new...
As of the day we're recording this, I released an episode with Coette Delawala from Stand Up for Science. She came back on the pod to, kick everyone's asses and make us science activists. But she said when we recorded it was January 8th, and she said it's been 8 years and 8 days. But look, we're here to go to the past, and it's on video, by the way. Hello.
Hi, I switched screens, so now I'm looking over here. My camera's over here.
Yeah. Well, hello. I feel like we're...
There we go.
I am not a crook.
Breaking the fourth wall.
But look, you're going to get to see us read you 2 stories happening in the world of paleontology, dinosaurs, science, or whatever the hell is going on.
Mm-hmm. What the heck is going on?
And sometimes, because this is our 6th Fossil Finds episode, very exciting. And I feel like what kicked off this special podcast that's only on Patreon, thank you, Patreon subscribers, is catching up with all the dinosaur news since 1993. And, we've been working really hard to catch up with some big discoveries. Mm-hmm. And I'm very excited for your story today because it's late breaking, as in 2 months old.
I think, there's 2 studies I reference, and I think one came out in October, and then there's actually another one, and I think it was published early December. So not that late.
Yeah.
Not that late. It's still ongoing. That's fine. Listen, it takes 20 years for stuff to get published. We can take our time in talking about it.
Yeah.
If we're a few months late, it's not the worst thing to happen.
No. But, and mine is also from October. So that'd be the most current to date.
Whatever.
But yeah, I'm so excited to hear your story.
Yes, so I'm talking about the Nanotyrannus today. So Nanotyrannus, as the name suggests, is a type of tyrannosaurid. Or is it?
Gasp.
Nanotyrannus has been gasp in Spanish. Nanotyrannus has been a topic of controversy practically since its discovery in 1946, which I feel like is kind of par for the course at this point with pretty much any fossil that we've ever talked about.
Yeah.
It was first thought to be a Gorgosaurus. Then it was classified as its own species. And then after that, it's been long debated whether the fossil was just an adolescent version of the T-Rex rather than its own species. So, classic case of dinosaur identity crisis. Some reference, when arguing whether or not Nanotyrannus is its own species, some reference the number of teeth on the skull when arguing its legitimacy. Nanotyrannus has more teeth than T-Rex. While others cite Nanotyrannus having proportionally larger hands than T-Rex. But either of those things could be debunked due to limited fossil evidence rather than this occurring because of taxonomic distinction.
Okay.
But now we have new published research from the last couple of months that have squashed Nanotyrannus deniers once and for all.
Okay.
So starting with an analysis, but once and for all.
Yeah.
Starting with an analysis done on the famed dueling dinosaurs fossil, which is a specimen of a small Tyrannosaur / possible Nanotyrannus. Nicknamed Bloody Mary, by the way. I just found that out. I'm familiar with the dueling dinosaurs, but I didn't know that the theropod was named Bloody Mary, which is kind of funny. So it's a small possible Nannosaur, and a ceratopsian locked in combat for all eternity. Paleontologists Lindsay Zano and James Napoli analyzed the Tyrannosaur's growth rings on its leg and arm bones, a method called skeletochronology.
Ooh.
It's almost like checking tree rings, I think, and determined that the specimen was skeletally mature at the time of death. So that would mean that now Tyrannosaurus is not a baby Tyrannosaur. It is its own species, or it lends more
credence.
Yes, thank you. Oh my God, words.
Lends more creed with claws wide open.
Wide open.
Wait, you had the right finger count. I fucked it up.
With claws wide open. So there's another study done by paleontologist Christopher Griffin, who specializes in bone histology, who also took a stab at this mystery and analyzed the hyoid bone, so a U-shaped bone right beneath the jaw. I actually talked about this bone in the Dinosaur Choir episode too, which is kind of weird. So he studied the hyoid bone of the holotype specimen in Nanotyrannus, which is just a skull, by the way. And by all accounts, the hyoid bone is not a typical bone to use for skeletochronology. My guess is because it's kind of small.
Sure.
I imagine you'd want like a heftier bone to slice in half.
Yeah.
But Griffin tested the accuracy of the study by also reviewing hyoid, God, that's such a tongue twister for me, hyoid bones of living dinosaur relatives, as well as the fossils of T-Rex and Allosaurus to validate his findings. His study found that not only is the hyoid bone a valid tool of research when testing the maturity of dinosaurs, but it also concluded that the holotype specimen was also one of a mature individual.
Oh, wow.
Species, so separate from T-Rex.
Yeah.
So Nanotyrannus, like by all accounts, is its own species. Exciting stuff.
I'm my own guy.
Yes. But as most interesting findings go, we're now faced with some new questions. What about any other specimens of presumably young adolescent dinosaurs? And do we actually know anything about T-Rex growth? Do we know anything?
Oh, yeah, because I'm guessing the idea that at some point, because I was going to ask your thoughts on this dinosaur, because I feel like at some point growing up, that was always part of the conversation, was like, could be just a juvenile T-Rex, or it could be its own thing. Like the 1993 Dinosaur Encyclopedia I often cite, the one that I slept with under my pillow.
Yeah, the one that's missing its cover.
Yes. So that referred to Nanotyrannus as its own species, but it mentioned this controversy. So so I'd never thought of that idea where they're like, oh, if we discount this, then it's actually not a juvenile Tyrannosaurus. Then what the fuck is going on? Yeah,
exactly. And now I want to look into what other, not just T-Rex, adolescent T-Rex specimens do we have, but any other adolescent small version of.
There's two I can think of right now.
Oh, yeah.
So I know, and again, apologies. This is part of the process of the podcast where, we're enthusiastic and we're learning. But I believe Toroceratops is maybe not a juvenile Triceratops, but there's some controversy between these two ceratopsians. And I think it might be a growth related thing. And then Stygimoloch, which is one of my favorite dinosaurs, is potentially just a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus.
Oh.
Which is funny because Stygimoloch is now part of the Jurassic World movies. And it's sort of like, oh, that's interesting that this dinosaur that is immortalized on screen may actually just be a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus. It might not be its own thing.
Oh, yeah. And now we have this. I don't know how old the skeletochronology is in terms of how long we've been using it to test. That is something I would like to look into now that I'm bringing it up. But how long that's been a thing. But I wonder if now, especially because Christopher Griffin realized that you could use bones other than ones of the arms and legs to check the maturity. I wonder if we're going to be seeing more discoveries similar to this one, where we weren't sure, if this is a fully grown specimen or individual, I should say. And yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's so cool. I feel like this, again, we had already recorded, because we pre-recorded our fossil finds for November and December because of my surgery. I feel like that Nanotyrannus news dropped like
in the middle of it. Yeah.
or I mean, pretty soon after we recorded both of those. And I remember texting you. I was like, Andrea needs to do this one. You know, you're the theropod queen. So like I feel like you.
Be the theropod.
What? Yeah,
you said
yeah.
Theropod.
Theropod. Oh God.
Sauropod, right. Theropod.
Cancel us or cancel me anyway.
We don't know what we're talking about.
But that's so cool. Did you, growing up, do you have any memories of this dinosaur or this controversy?
Not really. I do. Like, I was thinking back on whether or not I even had like an opinion on Nanotyrannus.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm of the mindset. It's like, who am I to say anything about this kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. Well, actually.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to say, you know, I'm not going to be, you know, definitive about either or, but
back in my day, Brontosaurus was a dinosaur. Yeah. And back in my day, dinosaurs didn't have feathers. Like, all right.
Back in my day, Nanotyrannus was a Gorgosaurus.
Yeah, you're taking it all the way back.
Yeah, I'm taking it all the way to 1946. But yeah, that's that I thought that was a really exciting piece of news. Thank you for handing me that one.
No. Well, and also I love you telling that story because it made me think about even just the idea of it, all the implications. Because I think in all the stories that we've covered, a byproduct and why science is so amazing is it's like, well, first of all, you're learning about this specific story, but then here's all the implications that the study could have on future discoveries. Like, that's so cool. Yeah.
And I like had a thought that like, because they're relating this to T-Rex, the argument has been that Nanotyrannus is a juvenile T-Rex. And it just goes to show that, like, I mean, T-Rex is got to be one of the most studied species of dinosaur, like, ever. And it just goes to show that even our most studied, it contains so many mysteries still. Like, there's still stuff like this that's just going to come in and just be like, nope.
Sue, why aren't you giving me answers? Sue, come on.
Help us, Sue. Help us, please.
They eat us, you know?
Yeah. They eat us last, though.
Yes, we have.
Let's not forget, we've been spared.
I need to put that on my LinkedIn.
I know, right? I got to put that on my, next time I need to, like, you know, update my resume, I'm going to put life has been spared by Sue the T-Rex of the Field Museum in the impending theropod revolution.
Yes. What, my question to you is there any punk ass dinosaurs that you want to be like made a juvenile of another dinosaur? Or would you like to see pulled out and be its own dinosaur?
Ooh, I have to think about that one.
Something to think about for the future.
Yeah, something to mull over, definitely. Yeah, I'll get back to you on that one.
Again, because, you know, I still want to do this summer, you know, it's 2026, and this Jurassic June, I would still love for Andrea and I to figure out what our least favorite dinosaurs are. And just cover at least one. We don't need to spend a lot of time in hatred. I feel like it's more about just learning something about maybe a dinosaur that we don't care that much about.
Yeah, so. Like when I hear about it, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, because part of me is like T-Rex or Velociraptor, but I'm like, I just think, you know, they're just in the spotlight a lot. But I love the story. And again, like you said, that even our most, you know, popular megafauna can, you know, there's still a lot to learn, which is really cool. So awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrea.
That's all I got. Thank you. The article in naturalsciences.org by John Pishney, the Journal of Vertebrate Paleontology article by T.D. Carr, the Nature article by Napoli, Zano, and then Science News by Carolyn Grambling. Nanotyrannus was not a teenage T-Rex. I thought that was a funny title. And then Science News article, Small Cousins of T-Rex May Actually Have Been Growing Teenagers by Sid Perkins.
Wow, great title work all around.
I know, these are great.
Amazing. Well, speaking of
switching cameras,
dinosaurs,
switching sides again.
Switching sides. Speaking of learning new things and Now I'm just holding for dramatic effect. Speaking of just the idea of learning more about something that is very popular, which I like. It's like the version of Taylor Swift or the Beatles where you're like, this is the biggest band in the world, but I'm like only going down the rabbit hole if Paul is dead or that Taylor Swift is queer, this is my very specific niche interest in this very popular artist. So I'm very, very excited about my story. Your girl and a lot of other people think about the last day of the dinosaurs, whether it's baby Rexes getting yeeted by the impact of Chicxulub.
Was that Walking with Dinosaurs? I can't remember.
Pour one out. Yeah, pour
one out for the baby T-Rexes.
Or seeing Adam Driver's stupid dumb face witnessing the asteroid in the incredibly dumb 65 from 2023. The apocalyptic events have preoccupied paleontologists and pop culture for a long time. In a New York Times piece in October, writer Asher Albeen details the discovery of a new batch of fossils in New Mexico that broadens our understanding of the kinds of dinosaurs that lived when the asteroid ended it all. So now, as covered in one of the very first episodes of Fossil Finds, the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs originated in the outer solar system before Earth even formed. To quote myself on knowing that an asteroid killed the dinosaurs, we've lived our whole lives knowing that an asteroid killed the dinosaurs. Hell, so much of dinosaur media relies on this preordained tragedy, foreshadowing the inevitability. Even that dinosaurs had their shot and nature selected them for extinction. Malcolm impression. Yet their initial theories didn't appear until the 70s, growing through the 90s, our childhoods, with scientists in 2010 meeting in some sort of adorkable summit to confirm that yes, the asteroid killed the non-avian dinosaurs, and that asteroid caused the CPG extinction event. So when we think of late Cretaceous, we think of all the hits. T-Rex, Triceratops, Velociraptors, Taylor Swift. And that's why the fossils discovered in New Mexico are so exciting, because they represent a more biodiverse world going against some of this dinosaurs were on the way out thinking that comes from the biased notion that dinosaurs were fated to die when the asteroid wiped them out 66 million years ago. So I don't know, I'm curious, again, growing up, the asteroid is a thing. Maybe there's some other stuff. Do you remember any other theories about why dinosaurs went extinct?
Yeah, I think that volcanoes were involved in some other theories that, obviously absolutely destroyed the ecosystem, and there was so much CO2 in the air, and it started an ice age, or I think that was one of the theories.
Yeah.
I think there was a third one.
Well, there was one, and they talk about it in the Jurassic Park novel, Michael Crichton being and people thought dinosaurs were just too dumb and they died.
Yeah.
And I'm uh-oh, that's
disappeared.
That's a bad sign for us.
Yeah.
I feel like reading more into it, there is this more nuanced discussion of the idea that how biodiverse was the time that the dinosaurs died, and maybe they were already waning by the time the asteroid hit. And so that's such an interesting thing to me, where it's where the dinosaurs are already dying and then the asteroid was
let's finish the job.
Yeah. And so I think that's an interesting talking point. But personally for me, again, when we rewatched Walking with Dinosaurs, go back and listen to that episode, it is weird when you watch a lot of paleontology stuff where it is even Land Before Time is apocalyptic,
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of, to me, we'll get into it, but yeah, we'll get more into this whole thing and why these discoveries in New Mexico are important. Mm-hmm. So, actually, I want to send you the cover of this.
Ooh.
Because this is to me, one of the most beautiful pieces of paleo art, I think, period. Boom. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Does it say the artist? I couldn't see the...
Yes. So the artist, paleo artist, Natalia... Oh my God, I'm going to screw this up.
Oh my gosh, yes. Natalia Jegaliska. Yes, I know exactly who that is. They do a lot of pterosaur artwork.
Yes. I feel like I've seen like maybe a tapejara or something.
Yes. Yeah, they do like really cute, like almost like cutesy stylized pterosaur artwork.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. Yeah, I knew I saw this somewhere.
Yeah, so we'll
it's so good.
We'll pop it up on the screen because this is a video episode. But
yeah, I think their Instagram handle is that pterosaur artist or something like that. I'll have my Instagram's on my phone at this moment. I deleted it again.
I feel like throughout Fossil Finds, we're going to know where you are at and what social media is on your phone.
Yeah, I'm just... I have iPad access to Instagram.
But yeah, so insane cover art of this sauropod witnessing the impact. It's, I don't know, it's genuinely one of now my favorite pieces of paleo art.
Yeah.
So paleo artist Natalia Jegaliska, I'm so sorry, Jaliska, something like that, depicts one of these New Mexico discoveries in this New York Times piece, the 80-ton, 100-foot-long sauropod Alamosaurus. And, you know, it's brachiosaur shaped. You know, on the scale of sauropods, it's less Shunosaurus and Diplodocus and Apatosaurus, and it's more on the Brachiosaur, Titanosaur. You know, it's got that kind of arched, sloped back.
Yeah.
You know? So the thing is, the Alamosaurus fossils and others were found in the early 1900s and thought to be from an earlier part of the Cretaceous, around like 70 million years ago. Uh-huh. And it was New Mexico State University paleontologist Andrew Flynn that brought these bones out of retirement in 2013 to re-examine them. So a little connection to your story, this idea of new science coming in and new people. So time and time again, science marches on, thankfully, and new techniques are used all the time to update and even change the long-standing notions of, you know, whatever the study is. In this case, did you know that the polarity of Earth's magnetic fields flips every 500,000 years?
I did not know that.
That's when I feel sick, you know.
Yeah. Does it happen like instantaneously? Like all of a sudden we're like, whoa!
Yeah, no, I think if it was, I want to do more reading into this, but again, you know, did you know that our planet's magnetic field is generated by currents in the Earth's core from molten nickel and iron? And so, again, it's one of those things where you just read it in the story and you're like, what do you mean our polarity of our planet flips every 500,000 years? Like, what does that even like?
Right. I can't even comprehend that.
So I looked this up and it deflects harmful solar wind. So I think we've all seen a textbook with the magnetic fields like coming out from not literally the North and South Pole. It's kind of like shifted, but these kind of like, you know, kind of like rings emanating out from the top and bottom of the Earth. And so those shield us from solar wind because, you know, when you think about it, it's like the sun is blasting us, which gives life, you know, but also, you know, we get sunburns and all that stuff. And so, you know, again, growing up, you know, we were all terrified that the ozone layer was going to burn away. And one of the positive things in science is that, you know, all that efforts in the 90s and 80s went along and actually, like, you know, the ozone layer is in a better spot now than it's been than when we were kids. But basically, if you didn't have our magnetic field, solar winds would just strip us dry. You know, the ozone would be burned up, you know, and we wouldn't be here. Yeah. So that's what the magnetic field on our planet does.
Wow. Okay.
And so obviously the flipping of the magnetic field, depending on what, you know, every 500,000 years, that's a good timestamp for when something existed, you know, because you're only, what did I say? 500,000 years? Yeah. So every 500,000 years, you know, and so rocks during that time, you know, just kind of like, you know, how like ice cores have samples of like what, you know, the atmospheric, you know, what makes up our atmosphere, depending on when the ice is pulled from Antarctica, rocks contain a signature of this flip. So you're like, oh, was it, you know, 100 and, you know, is it 1.5 million years ago, or is it 2 million years ago? Like, so it narrows it down, you know?
Yeah, definitely. That's cool.
Yeah. And so, Flynn, the paleontologist, along with our fave, Steve Broussard. I always
thought it was Broussardi, but I could be
We'll give the Italian spin on it. Steve Brusati, who claims he wants to take a shot of Malort with me.
Oh my gosh.
Which
you need to take him up on that.
I will take him up. He has a new book coming out, the history of birds.
Really?
Coming
I'm
out
excited.
this year. Yeah, it comes out. I think it comes out around my birthday. But,
oh my God.
Yeah. So Steve obviously helped author this paper along with, Andrew Flynn. Yeah. From New Mexico State University. They say that basically the big galaxy brain argument of this article is that because we found a dinosaur like Alamosaurus, which if you love dinosaurs, sauropods are a Jurassic thing. You know, like when you think of the Jurassic period, you're like sauropods, Dilophosaurus, Allosaurus, that fucker, you know, and then when you think of Cretaceous, you know, T-Rex, all that stuff or whatever. So like the idea that there was, you know, in the Badlands in Montana, there was T-Rex and Triceratops and stuff, but then literally like down south, like a road trip style, you could go to New Mexico and find a 80-ton, 100-foot sauropod walking around at the same time. Like that feels nuts to me. Like in my head, like sauropods were done by the Cretaceous, you know, or at least the late Cretaceous. And so, like they're arguing that because the environment on Earth was more biodiverse and not waning, that really the asteroid just ended dinosaurs. They weren't on the way out. So, that's the story.
Wow, that's so cool. I'm still staring at this artwork.
I know, it's
by the
incredible.
way. I keep like looking over at my other screen like, look at that poor sauropod's face. He's like, oh God.
I'm not going to dinner tonight.
Yeah, he's like, oh no.
We got to cancel all my plans.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, like, I mean, just we've talked a lot about our thoughts about this, but I mean, in your mind, how do you feel about the idea? Like, do you like the idea that dinosaurs were tragically cut short, or would you prefer it that they were kind of like that they fumbled the planet like we are, you know?
No, I don't think I very much think kind of like what I said in the Nanotyrannus segment. I'm not really, what do I know?
Yeah.
But
sure. Yeah.
But I like to think that they were going strong, and then it was just a really unfortunate, like 1 in a million occurrence that just wiped them out.
Yeah.
I think I may have mentioned before. So Darren Naish has this, I don't know if it's his theory, but it's a theory that he has expanded, that I've like back in 2020 when he was doing ZoomCon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
A theory that he expanded on, where what would have happened like if the asteroid never hit and dinosaurs just got to keep going. And there's a theory that no matter what, like there was always destined, like the Earth was always destined to have like bipedal humanoid like creatures. And there is like some theory that dinosaurs would have turned into like dinosaur people.
Yeah. You know, I think it's in the Eyewitness Dinosaurs episode that they talk about that, or there was some special in the 90s that almost like posited that Troodons, because they had such big eyes and slender, that they became dinosaur people. Yes,
I can't remember what like if there was a name for it. Hold on.
Yo, you're right. There probably is like some sort of like,
I think there is a word for it.
Lizard, like, dinosaur, human people, or whatever.
I think it's just like dinosauroid. A hypothetical intelligent dinosaur evolved from troodontids. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
But do you think, so then Andrea, if that happened, do you think we'd be on a Zoom right now talking about like, it's like see human right, or like,
oh my God,
see homo right, or something, where it's like, we're talking about all the like mammals that went extinct, see mammal right, you know, or see,
oh my God,
see Paleocene right, or something like that, you know?
Because if it weren't for the asteroid impact and dinosaurs becoming extinct, like mammals would not have had their moment.
Yeah.
Like, would they have had their moment? Would they have eventually had their moment, or would they have just stayed small?
Yeah.
And insignificant.
And then there's like, when you're a kid growing up, there's like it's like the Dinosaurs sitcom where it's like kids are like, ooh, it's kids love sharks, trucks, and, mammals, instead of dinosaurs. And so it's like some kid who wants to learn about mammals, but then there's like a religious parents who who are mammal deniers,
Mammal deniers. Oh no. Yeah, we would just be like two lizard people on a Zoom call.
Oh, and then you hear in the background, there's the non-mammal, instead of non-avian dinosaurs, it's like non-mammal, or it's like non-placental mammals or something that are like making that you have as pets in the background. We're hearing like rah, rah.
Yeah, as I'm hearing my pigeons flapping around the other room. I'm also surrounded by Chris's Warhammer figurines, and it's like, would these just be like dinosaurs? Dinosaur people?
Hell yeah.
Like I have this little, hold on, make sure this isn't like wet or anything. It's like this elephant one. Would this exist? This be like considered like a dinosaur to them?
Yeah. Wow. Oh, so yeah. Cool. I mean, again, love seeing my sauropod representation. Sauropod representation in the late Cretaceous. That's crazy to me. I truly just thought that like, on a very just like basic dinosaur knowledge level, it's like, again, I said before, I'm like, sauropods, late Cretaceous, or sauropods, Jurassic, So to me, that there was such a big, 100-foot long sauropod cruising around, just, just maybe a couple 100 miles south of like where all the popular dinosaurs were hanging out.
All the cool guys.
Yeah. So yay. Well, that's fossil finds. All right. My sources are obviously the New York Times article. Fossils of some of the last dinosaurs in North America have a story to tell. I mean, is that as good as any of your titles? Maybe not, but, is exciting to hear.
Yes.
By Asher Albeen. And then also there was a news piece from the local New Mexico station. Study, dinosaur fossils found in New Mexico, date to the time of mass extinction event. And then a video by GeoGirl, new research findings rewrite the KPG extinction event, plus a handful of Wikipedia articles, Chicxulub crater, Alamosaurus, geomagnetic reversal, Earth's magnetic field. And then the Natural History Museum London has just a little dino directory of late Cretaceous dinosaurs. So,
cool.
Yeah. And yeah, those are my sources.
Woohoo.
And that's Fossil Find 6.
Ooh.
I hope everyone is enjoying these. Claws up. Claws up.
With claws.
Wide open. Let us know dinosaur news that you want to cover. It's a big, we're at the start of the year. Anything's possible. Who knows? Maybe Spinosaurus will have this time it has a fat ass, or whatever. We just don't know.
The sail was perhaps a giant hump on its back. We may never know.
It had flames on this. It's like Guy Fieri.
Yeah, it's just flames. It had flames on the sides, just like this.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my God. Well, where can they follow you, Andrea?
Strange Bird Art.
Awesome.
Whether or not I'm active on it at the time of this recording is anyone's guess, but I will eventually get back to you.
I will say, because it's related, but Stephanie Beatriz was on Doughboys and also talking about being like, I only have Instagram on my iPad, but she follows me. That's a humble brag. But she saw the My Neighbor Totoro live show when it came here or London or something. And I responded to it. And then she was just like, oh my God, it was so amazing. And it was like 2 a.m. And,
oh no.
But it was really funny because on Doughboys, she said that. And I was like, are you
on your
fibbing?
iPad at 2 a.m?
Yeah. Responding to my Neighbor Totoro comment.
Yeah.
Just like, But I could totally see that. You're just like, I need my, but what if
I need my fix.
You drop your iPad on your face and break your nose?
Yeah, seriously. Only takes 2 pounds, I think, to break the cartilage in your nose.
Oh no, really?
I think so. Ooh, I think something it's like a really low, it's like a startlingly low number.
That's we talk about hyperfixations on this pod and, the main sea Jurassic, right? And that's a fun one. Did you know that it only takes 2 pounds to break your nose? 2 pounds of force?
I think I learned that. You're going to love where I heard this. I heard it off Bob's Burgers.
Wow.
That's my source. Louise from Bob's Burgers said it only takes 2 pounds to break someone's nose.
Journalistic
2 pounds.
Journalistic integrity is what we have on this podcast. But yeah, keep your ears to the ground and hopefully you'll find something cool. So until next time. Goodbye. With claws wide open.
Under the sunlight. Whatever the words are.
Oh my God.